Hi, I'm Jenny Lesko here with Rental Magazine. I'm here with Casey Funseth, dealer principal from Bobcat Janesville. And today we are taking a look at Bobcat's new MT85 mini track loader. And Casey's going to kind of show me how it operated, and then we're going to run it through its paces. Casey, what can you tell me about the controls before we get started?
Sure, Jenny. The MT85 has made some changes to the previous iterations of the mini track loaders in that it added a new joystick control, an ISO pattern control for your drive functions. But other than that, it's a very similar layout to the previous mini track loaders in terms of the operation and feel. The MT85 does have a greater operating capacity and the built-in ride-on platform, so the center of gravity does sit a little bit higher, providing better visibility to the front of the machine. But all in all, the controls and operation feel very similar to the previous models.
Okay, so if I'm not familiar really with the previous model or really any mini track loader, if I'm coming at this for the very first time, what would you tell me on how I can get started?
You bet. First thing I tell you is go slow.
Okay.
Always. The operation is very simple. You'll use basically your right and left hands for everything, and those hands will work independently. With your left hand doing the driving, so forward on the joystick will drive you forward, backwards, and then obviously your right and left as you drive will position you, to the left or right with your forward or reverse motion. It does have what they might consider an S pattern with the drive. So when you're backing up, as you pull back to the left side, the machine will turn sort of to the right and vice versa.
Great.
And then the other joystick controls your lift and tilt functions. So pulling back on this joystick will lift the boom, pushing forward on it will lower the boom, and then curling in to the left with this joystick will curl the bucket back towards you, and tilting away from you out to the right will curl the bucket away from you for dumping motion.
Okay.
You have a throttle here to control your engine RPM and your speed of your machine. You have auxiliary hydraulic control, which we'll demonstrate on the auger and the grapple here in a few minutes. And then these other buttons would be used for additional auxiliary functions or arm lockout, lift arm or tilt arm lockout.
Something, just to ask a quick question, I always get confused on with the throttle. I mean, so that's giving the engine more juice, so to speak. So
correct.
Will that affect every function, or is that just the drive forward and back? I mean,
it'll increase the speed at which the arm lifts and tilts.
Okay.
It'll also increase the gallons per minute flow within the engine itself, or within the hydraulic system itself. Mm-hmm. So yes, the answer is it will affect the entire operation of the machine in addition to just the drive.
As a novice operator, where should I begin with the throttle? Where should I start at?
Great question, Jenny. I would recommend probably starting just slightly above idle position, maybe halfway, half throttle, which is indicated here by the turtle or rabbit icon, rabbit being the full throttle. Just enough to get comfortable with the motions of the machine. What I'd recommend to any user would be to jump on once the machine's started and rev the engine up to a point where, say it's just above the turtle, where you can hear the engine RPMs increasing, and then practice running both the drive function and the lift and tilt function until you get comfortable with the motions and what each function is doing. After that, I think you'd find that the higher the RPM that you operate, the smoother the machine will run.
Okay.
So it's based on your comfortability with the machine, and as long as you're comfortable with the speed at which it's moving, you can slightly increase that as you gain comfort with it. But anywhere from a quarter to half throttle would be a good position to start at.
Okay.
Yep.
And can you tell me again the benefits of this? By the way, everybody, I am on a stand-on or a ride-on platform, which coming from my height is a real advantage to be up here. You can see I'm not normally as tall as you are, but what was the intention behind this design?
Mostly it was a voice of customer.
Okay.
The demand was there to have a built-in platform. Just to increase comfort, they've added the pads so you can really lean into the machine and get your weight over the engine compartment. And then just really convenience.
Visibility to what you're doing?
Visibility, yes.
Okay.
In addition to that, you have better sight lines down towards your bucket. Just increased comfort overall for the operator. They added obviously a cup holder, and just more took a look at it from an ergonomic standpoint and thought about the operator themselves, and then built the machine sort of around that.